And we're taking a look at some of the various options for pocket pistols. Now these aren't all modern pocket pistols, just the pocket pistols we happen to have available for the video. I'm going to start out by taking a look at the 9 different pistols we've got out here. One of them is a single action revolver. This is a North American Arms 22 short single action revolver. Next to it we've got 2 different flavors of the baby Browning, and we've got an FN vest pocket Browning. Next to it here we've got an Autauga Arms Mark II. I'm probably saying that wrong. Up above that is a KelTec P32. Next to that one is a North American Arms Guardian 380, and then a Kahr P380. And then over here we've got the KelTec P3AT. There's 9 different pistols, and they're representing 4 different calibers. We've got the 22 short, we've got the 25 ACP, the 32 ACP, and then the 380. The ACP stands for Autauga Pistol, and that's just to help designate which rounds we're talking about. To kind of compare them, we've got the 22 short, the 25 ACP, the 32 ACP, the 380, and then I brought out some others just to kind of give them some reference. This is a 9mm, so you can see that 9mm really dwarfs a lot of these rounds. Next we've got the 40 caliber, which makes that 9mm look small. And last up, a 45 ACP, which is a lot of people's preference, and I think if that shows up in the video, you get a pretty good idea of what size we're talking about here. We're talking about some fairly small bullets, some fairly small diameters, some very light bullet weights, but we're also getting the advantage of some very small pistols. So kind of setting these back out for reference, and we'll take a look at these different pistols. So we've got the small little revolver, really not effective for defense or anything, but probably more of a novelty. Next we've got the baby Brownings, which are older. Not sure the date on these, but I'm guessing 50s or 60s. They're blowback. They've got magazines. Oh, the European style magazine release down here. Load up just like their larger brothers. This would be the safety, I suppose. Up for safe, down for fire. Very small, fit in the hand well, but because there's not much recoil, you don't need much more in the hand than that. This one is basically a different flavor. It's also a Browning, baby Browning, but it's be nickeled instead of blued. This one's an FN vest pocket Browning, very similar. From a few feet away, a lot of people would say it's the same pistol, but it's different. It's got this grip safety, same European style magazine release. The rounds load just like their larger counterparts. This one doesn't have the safety up front, it has the safety in back, sort of 1911 style. And this one's, I'm guessing, a bit older. I'm thinking this one might be World War II era, but I'm not an expert on these by any means. Next we've got an Autauga Arms. I'm probably butchering that name. It's just not one that's around anymore, so it's not one I've heard said much. Its magazine release is sort of different. It's over here in the back of the grip, and I'm having real trouble getting that to even open. I guess you have to pull back. I was pushing it like a button, but again, a little awkward. I guess the idea being that you would hold it in your shooting hand and use your offhand. I really have no idea how they came up with that design, but you pull back on that little lever and it comes free. It's a 32 ACP. Again, it loads a lot like the others. Has some fairly substantial holes here to give you an idea how many rounds are left in the magazine. Blowback, as most of these are, and kind of a unique shape. Larger trigger guard than some of these smaller ones, but kind of a blocky, wide gun compared to this other 332, which is the KelTec. Now the KelTec in 32 has the feature of staying open on an empty mag, which the 380 doesn't offer. Again, it loads just like in a modern pistol. This one has a more modern feature, or a more popular feature, of having the magazine release here at the back of the trigger guard. Fairly narrow, just a bit more narrow than even the P38 or P3AT. more narrow than that Kahr. Definitely, as we saw, more narrow than its other 32 out here. And then we get into the 380s, and in the 380s we've got this North American Arms. So the same company that builds this North American Arms or single action, again a blowback 380. This one has holes and numbers on both sides, which makes it easy to deal with, easy to see, easy to load. Magazine release is metal, not polymer, so it's very easy to push. Magazines load very easily. The floor plate on the magazine has that lip, so you can get a pretty decent shooting grip onto it. Large trigger guard, fairly smooth down here, very comfortable pistol. There's worse 380s and there's better 380s, but this one's definitely a decent 380. It's fairly substantial because it's a metal frame. Going down to the Kahr 3AT or P380. Again, easy to remove magazine, polymer, but very easy. It's basically drop free. Slide locks back on an empty magazine, so that means as you're shooting on the last shot, your slide will lock back. It's got the decent sights, probably out of all the pistols on the table. This one has the best sights. This is probably my favorite of all the pistols on the table, but it's also probably the newest of all the pistols on the table, so it's had the advantage of seeing what people are looking for in a pistol, and they were able to add that to their design. Last up is the KelTec P3AT, which is a very popular pistol, and again, magazine release on behind the trigger guard there. Loads just like all the others. There's holes but no numbers to tell you how many rounds are in the magazine. No bolt hold, no slide hold open. So your last shot you really don't know. Very crude sights compared to the Kahr. Again, these are definitely preference for people. Some people really like a smaller pistol. Some people really like a more modern style. This is sort of an assortment of all of them. So that's just some options for a small pocket-sized pistol.